Hello everyone. I am so happy you, my friends, come today to look at my, and hopefully paint along with me, my aspen grove. And so I am not quite ready to let go of fall. And so I have been practicing and decided to do this. It is actually quite fun. We are learning with this aspen grove, we are going to have the chance to practice negative painting here and positive painting. And so this kind of technique is actually very good to prepare us when spring or late spring we can do lilac and also hydrangea and many things, actually use this type of technique. And so I will, at first I wanted to show you, this is the painting, right? And I have a little faint line, and you can do that. It depends on so this the faint line is a rectangle, the size of the opening of your mat. The reason why I do that is that so that the painting can go outside of the mat, and when you put a mat or whichever mat you wanted to put or the frame, then it will be full. All the color will go all the way to the edges. And so this is, I think it is very fun. A lot of splashing water, not a lot of detail, but do have positive and negative and positive painting. And so what I did is, I think what I did is did 5 cluster of negative and positive painting to show you, and then I take the time after the video is done to fill in the rest, because one thing about this sort of painting is that it takes a little bit of time, to make sure that you're happy with the amount of, almost like an abstract, what you can see, not too far away but not too close. And then in this I also what I did is, I think I've done, okay, so this is the 2 main branch of the aspen, as you can see. And then I wanted to show you guys how you do a misty kind of forest in the background. And so what I did is I show you this branch, and also I think it's this one and this one, either this one or that one. But anyway, so I went in and add just 2 more or 3 more afterwards. And so, like I always say, I don't like to not have enough time to show you guys. And then we also do some of this really fun painting of the texture of the aspen tree and the branches. And so this will be very fun, and it will be nice if you can watch it a little bit, and then watch it a little bit, and then you can dive in, get your material ready. As I go, the color and the material will be shown, and I think I will kind of draw this patches of aspen and the main branch on and maybe even some of these the eyes, well, that's what I call it. I don't know what the official name is. And for you guys to have a line drawing if you needed that, and that will be in my blog, sunsetpeony.com. And you can go over there and just search Aspen Grove. I think this will be the name after this is posted or uploaded on YouTube. And then you guys will have fun painting along. And it will be kind of fun, little fall painting. And so I think that is all I'm going to talk about for the introduction today. And I will just let you guys start painting. Thank you for coming. Okay, let's get started, shall we? After the intro. And so I'm putting this pencil here so it will focus a little bit. I don't know if you can see that I have a little faint line that I drew. Is a rectangle. The reason for that is we're going to see after this painting if it will need to fit into a mat that's like this. And so I'll show you after when we're done. And so the reason why we're doing that is because then while we're painting, we can paint over the line. Okay, when we paint over the line, then with the mat covering, then it's very pretty that way because of this kind of composition. And then we have 2 aspen tree trunk here, so you know, of course the line is also very, very faint. You know, at least it's faint for me because the light that is needed to use my camcorder is very, very bright. And so we have to, you know, so it's kind of hard for me even to, I can see in person, but I don't know if you can see that, you know, with the video, the line. But I will try my best and you will see the line. Oh, yeah, there's a line right here that I can see on the viewfinder. And I'll just let you guys, I'll do my best because you see the nature of this painting is kind of fantasy and abstract. So you guys can actually have a lot of freedom to do what you wanted to do, okay? Now, yeah, just a little bit of line, you know, I'm thinking, intensely thinking now in my brain. Okay, we're gonna use this happy dot that we always do. And then today I'm going to use this, which is one of my favorite brush, but I have, because it's discontinued, it's at Daniel Smith. If I don't know any Daniel Smith people, I really wish they would bring this back. It's, I got it, oh, at least 20 years ago. And this is from England. It's a size 6. And so it's a synthetic hair, I think. It's kind of rough, but it also hold a lot of water, and the lines are good. And then, of course, I'm going to use my little zero brush to do some of the fine line, okay? So let's start. And the color that we use, you know, since this is, you know, a fall painting with a lot of aspen leaves, we're going to just come in here and just drop this, the first one of the yellow that I use is called cadmium yellow light, okay? Now, so you can see that there's a line right here for that who's gonna, you know, for that mat, and I intentionally just gonna go around, go outside the line, okay? Outside the line, okay? And then while I'm using the cadmium, okay, the brush is quite not truly really wet. I say medium wet, and then I'm going to drop in some cadmium medium. Now, what you want to do at this point is nice and loose, okay? Nice and loose, nice and loose, and ever so often leave some space, big space here, like of the white, so that what those are for is for us to put a branch through it, okay? And so we kind of keep going, and very, very happy and non-stressful, just putting our aspen, okay? So what this is just kind of not a close-up of an aspen tree, but kind of medium, I guess, not a close-up and not too far distant, so we can still see the we can still see the tree trunk, some of the detail of the tree trunk, but we also you know, so the you know, the aspen kind of cross over, right? And I'm sure that most of us have experience with the aspen tree, and so we are doing that, okay? We're gonna give the you know, a big spot of okay, I want to leave some of the tree over here and have just a little bit more of the aspen. And so I said, sorry, I never finished my thought. You know, you guys put up with me. You know what I'm saying, that you can still see the detail of the trunk, but you can also see, and now dropping some darker. I hope you can see that the difference in the value, right? The cadmium yellow light and the medium, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm going to also recruit some of my quinacridone color. Okay, now I'm going outside. Okay, I'm gonna again go outside the page, if you can call it the page. Okay, and just keep working on it and working on it. Okay, so the cluster is more dense up here, and then it's a little less dense down here. Okay, down in this area, because we're going to do some shadow here, and you will see. And we're gonna practice doing some shadowy color around this base area of the forest, and so it will be kind of fun. I think this is really fun. Okay, I could probably use a bigger brush though, just so that you guys know. I was recently answering one of you guys question. Someone asked me and said, you know, about paper size. Okay, so I can say it, you know, I actually talk about paper size, and you guys know that when I am painting. But like, you know, the thing is, like, you can see that I have to move across this, right, with a lot of foliage, and I could actually use a bigger one. I can dip this really juicy, you know, but I'm just, you know, I'm just used to doing, you know, and so I'm a little bit used to it, so I'm not afraid of the mistake that I could make, because I'm not using a thick enough brush. But you know, you match brush to your paper, and if you just kind of think that, oh, things are not moving as fast as I wanted it to, then maybe you want it to change to a thicker brush. Okay, but what I do is like and you know, I'm just trying to load this, right? I load this with a lot of water. I make it very, very full. Okay, and so when I pick up the pigment, and so what I do is I'm just going in the cadmium light, and I pick up the pigment like that, and then I just kind of drop it in. Okay, I want a little bit down here. That's for composition's sake. Okay, a little bit down here. Okay, and so cadmium medium. Okay, so now I go outside of the frame, that the little pencil frame that I've drawn. Okay, so I'm looking at it and I say, am I happy? You know, it looks like I'm quite happy. You know, how about maybe just a little bit over here? Just a little bit more. Okay, now all these, what am I doing? I'm just doing the foundation of the background for the foliage, okay, to come in. Now after I've done that, at this point, if they're still a little bit wet, you know, like right here, I'm going to drop in some, like, you can see that how it disperses. Okay, I'm gonna move that a little bit. You know, you can see when I drop in the green, it's still dispersing. There's a little bit of disperseness to it. That means that still the water is still wet. Okay, why am I doing that? Because as my personal preference, now over here they are almost dry, right? We are indeed in Utah, and in Utah things dry a lot faster because we are a desert area. Okay, and so if it's dry, then I use some the brush, and use some clean water, and try to help it to disperse a little bit. Okay, after I drop in the pigment. Yeah, Utah is so dry, it just it dries everything gets dry, and it dried up, and in a recordly fast time. And that's why I you know, always said that when we are doing our painting, you know, you're following me, and so I can give you as many tips as I can. But really, with your equipment, meaning these things, you need to decide also on where you come from. Okay, if you are in a very very wet area, like if you're watching me from Hong Kong, say, you know, and so you are in a very wet area, right? You try not to you try to deal with your brush, and how fast the water dry. Okay, and then you will need to add more water. So it is not very productive if I tell you, oh, okay, you know, when you come here, you need to do this. You know, when you do, you know, when you're painting, you need to do this or that, because the problem is, if you're coming from a different part of the world, then it probably will be like, even if you come to Utah to see me, and then we paint together, right? And then you know, you kind of get a grip of you know, how much water and stuff we use, you know. But then when you go back to where you're from, then the water amount varies, right? And so the best thing to do is like get used to your area and be happy, you know, and trying. Okay, now this is about how much I wanted to put the green. Maybe on each cluster, you know, you try to put some green, maybe, you know, and so there's no stress right now. You just drop the green in there, but we can always add more. Okay, so don't worry about it, we can always add more. Okay, so now I want to show you the, while it's giving it a little bit of time to dry, right? It doesn't really need to dry very much. We will just go to where the area is drier and dry faster. So now I can see that this area is kind of wet. So I'm going to take the advantage and disperse the green some more. Okay. Now, the reason why I put green in there, because that's my love, okay? I always think that with no matter what color in nature, if you use some green in there, it always makes the color of whatever you're painting looks better, okay? And so that's why I always like, but as you know, most of you have a chance to see aspen, they do have green in them when they are turning from the summer green into the autumn yellow and the orange color. Okay, now so I went outside. Of course, we have aspen tree everywhere. Aspen tree is actually not very, and so not very good to the yard, because they have all these root coming out. But because they're so pretty, you can see some green, right? And some of the yellow ochre yellow, and some of the I would say that there's some darker quinacridone brown there, or burnt orange, and then sometime at the edge they will have some burnt umber, right? I would call this a burnt umber color. Okay, and so we will try our best, but we are not like painting them in detail, right, as you can see. But what I wanted us to think about as we paint is this medallion. It's kind of like a medallion with a little pointy. Okay, but you don't, when we're painting, not just all of us need to understand that we don't always see the aspen leaf like that. Unless they're off the ground, when they're still in the tree, they have some moisture, they don't fold that much. But sometimes you see them on the side, right? And so look at the shape, right? And sometimes you see them this way, and it's just nothing but a little line here that you can see, right? And so they can go either this way or that way, and so we keep in mind as we're painting. Okay, now so we got this like the base, and then like I tell you, they're all dry already. Okay, but not bone dry, but they're dry enough. Okay, so let's go on with this brush that this is I really love this brush, this Daniel Smith 2204. Okay, like I said, I don't know the Daniel Smith people. They don't know who I am. I am not a very famous artist in their sites, and so they had never talked to me. But I would like them to see if they can find the factory and redo this. If any of you are Daniel Smith people or know them, you can tell them. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm going to zoom in a little bit, okay, and let you guys see. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm now randomly doing positive painting of this medallion shape. Okay, here and there. Okay, so this little, because why do I do that? Because as I do that, then the person that is looking at my painting will realize that that is consistent with what then they can say, oh, it's aspen, right? Now we need to kind of do that, but of course, that's not the only thing that support us, that let people know that we are painting aspen, right? Because you will see in a moment when I start doing the tree trunk, then everybody can realize this. Now, I've done some positive painting over there, okay? I've put in 1, 2, 3 little leaves, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a technique that I like, is negative painting, and I do that all the time, okay? So instead of, so what I'm mixing is a cadmium medium. I mix it with a little bit of red. Okay, so what I'll do is I will come here and I'll think medallion. Okay, so the leaf, like for example, maybe just right here, the leaf are lighter, right? And so I will just kind of do a negative painting of a shape. Okay, I'm still holding the medallion shape. You can see that, right? I'm still trying to uphold the medallion shape, but then I'm going to, as I go through here and there, I'm even going to let so I have 1 leaf and 2 leaves here, okay? I'm going to let this orange red color, actually it's just mainly orange yellow color, how's that? Okay, the mix of cadmium medium red with you know, and I'll come in and I kind of soften it, okay? And so this is positive, okay, and this is negative painting, okay? So what I'm actually painting the background and make it look like you know, from here and there you can see the light of the light area of this roundish medallion shape, okay? I just do another one. And so now that's all really what we're gonna do, okay? Now today I also, now you say that if that's not negative enough, you go back to that and you mix that up a little bit and then you drop color on the one that you just paint, okay? Now all the time thinking medallion. This is a very it's a very watercolor way of doing things, okay? And so we're gonna just, okay, we say that's enough for this cluster, and you can see that, and you say, oh, at this area, it's not you know, you drop in some green, okay? You can drop in some green too, and then you can do the same thing, you know, with the green. Okay, you use it as a background, that you're doing the background and making people think that that is the leaf. That is the leaf, but this is the background, okay? But all the while you need to think medallion. And so you have shape, 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 shape here, and background, 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 okay? So we're doing the background. And so I'm going to do that a lot for you. I'm going to do that a lot for you so that you can, you know, have the chance to just practice. Because why is it important? Like I said, I'm in the middle of telling you guys this. Now the reason you can tell that I like this, because I like the firmness. But other than firm, it also has capacity to hold water. I really hated to rave about a brush with you guys that we can't buy, you know. It's very sad for me. Now I'm going to positive paint over here, okay? Now I'm going to paint a shape, okay? A shape that look like I'm painting you know, a leaf of the of this and then I'm going to go of the aspen leaf, and then I'm going to go drop in some green over there, okay? Now for some reason the green and the yellow does not want it to combine, you know. Sometimes they do that, and so, you know, so every single time we're like kind of solving problem, right? So we go in there and force them. That's what I do. I force them. And what do? I just push the green, you know, so that it will go a little bit, okay? Now this is important because, you know, this spring, it is kind of like a, you know, how do I put this? Now, if you're one who are used to, now watch me, okay? I'm going to come back to this point, okay? Now I'm going to just kind of do another leaf right here. It's kind of like what you're looking at the side, okay? Because then it's very pretty. And then I'm going to use cadmium yellow medium and just kind of drop a leaf and you know, leaf shape here and there, you know, so you can see that. You know, there's the leaf coming out, right? So this is kind of pretty. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, okay? So I'm going to use some of the cadmium medium, and I just kind of, you know, go out here and there, okay? So that you can see that there's leaf coming out, and that's kind of pretty. Now this is too much, I mean too intense of you know. And so I still have some yellow, and so I might go over here and say, okay, I'm going to darken this shape. Now this technique is what we do when we paint hydrangea, okay? We paint hydrangea that way. We also paint lilac that way. Plants that flowers that have a lot of small leaves in there. And so we don't want to go in and paint every single one, right? So what we do is we do negative painting and we do positive painting, and we mix that in the whole painting to make it come more alive to us, okay? So we don't have to go in. Can you imagine painting hydrangea? Or can you imagine today we try to paint every single leaf in an aspen cluster, right? That will be a little bit hard on us. Okay, now I'm bringing another yellowish darker color. Is the quinacridone gold. You can order that. You can order that from Daniel Smith, And is it necessary? No, it's not. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do negative painting again. Okay, so you can see how this quinacridone gold color that I put on is so similar to that orange and yellow mix that I just mixed up. Okay, and just so that you won't get confused, that mix is cadmium yellow medium plus red. Oh yeah, cadmium red medium. Okay. Now, so we disperse that, and you see how pretty that is, right? That little leaf just show up, and to your eye, you can see that, but we're not going to put veins in there, okay? And then I'm going to use the quinacridone gold and put the pretty leaves right there, okay? So this cluster is kind of done. And so what we do is like this whole time we'll go in and we do negative and we do positive, okay? And what I'm doing is like right now I am putting a leaf outside, okay? So outside the line that I was telling you, and so when the mats come in, then it will be very, very pretty. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some perylene green. Okay, perylene green, and oh no, actually I'm dipping in indigo. I don't want indigo, because indigo will be a little bit too dark blue, okay? So I use that and get some, and then I'm going to just also do some negative, okay? Just do some negative. And when you're doing negative the whole time, you know, you need to think medallion, okay? Medallion shape of the positive of the leaf, you know, but you can do negative, okay? And so there was already some green over there. So what I just did is I just enhanced the color. That's what I did. I just enhanced the color of the green color, okay, and make it a little bit deeper, okay. Now, so let's do the, you know, in the middle part, right, kind of over here, because we want that to be pretty, okay. So that is our practice on the side, okay. And so now we're going in the middle part, okay. So what I'm going to do is use some cadmium yellow medium on the tip of my brush, if you can see that, okay. And I'm going in here and do some positive medallion shape, okay. Now the shape, you don't have to be like really uptight about looking exactly like this, right, with the little tip. It can be, you know, I think the tip part is kind of important for us to, you know, preserve the, you know, the shape kind of, you know, have the tip, but, you know, we know that, you know, as human, we know that they go here and there, right? Now, also, I have told you that, now I'm going in with the sap green. Okay, now what I'm doing is negative painting again, okay? So I'm going to have a shape of the medallion shape, okay, like right there, okay? And then I'm going to, like, I can, you know, I can actually draw it, right? I can draw the leaf, actually. Maybe that's a better way. Yeah, see, I'm learning something while I'm teaching you, okay? So I draw 2 leaves, you know, and then before, because the outline, that doesn't look very good, okay? Before the outline get dry, you know, which you may have more time if you're in Asia, if you but here with me I need to work a little bit faster, okay? And then I say, okay, I don't want it to be boring, so I drop some more color, okay? You see that? You see that? Okay? And so I'm going to do that a few more times with you guys so that you don't you actually understand. So because I'm a little worried that this concept, actually we have done that before, but you know, now we're doing it intensely, okay? Now I'm using that red and yellow mix, okay? So I'm going to come over here and actually let the, okay, I'm going to draw a leaf of medallion, you know, irregular medallion, and one that is coming out this way. Okay, I'm actually including some of the white. Do you see that? The white crossing in with the yellow, okay? 2 of them, because that's all we can handle for now. Okay, before the paint goes dry, okay, and come in here and soften it, you know, soften the color, okay. And so you say, oh, a lot of the color had disappeared and gone, so we're not scared. We go back and use some of the more of the color and drop back in and reclaim the color, okay. And so that's what we're doing now. I know that this won't be too hard for you guys, you know. Once you understand the concept, you can pick that up very, very easy. And so I know that you can do it and you will have a lot of fun. You know, but it takes a little bit of getting used to, you know, because you say, oh, you know, maybe I lost the shape and cross over, and then, you know, with watercolor, you don't have to worry. If you really lose the shape, you come back and claim it, okay? And so this is kind of still an orangey color, so I'm going to go do the same mix, and here I am drawing another leaf, okay? You see that? You know, I'm actually using my brush and kind of going into the white area and draw the leaf, right? So as you see the leaf shape, okay, then you go back and soften the edge, okay, so the leaf remain, and then you look like you have some shadow, okay? You have some shadow there. And if you lost some of the leaf shape, I wouldn't worry, okay? Because, like I say, the leaf are coming this way and that way, you know. As we can see, they flutter actually when the wind blows, right? And so we don't even worry about, you know, losing. If we lose the shape, then we'll just say goodbye, then I'll work on the next one. Because, you know, to the human eye, you're fine, okay? And I'm going to come over here, and actually I'm going to do a positive shape. That means I'm just painting the leaf, not outlining the leaf, okay? Over here. And so then I like to do things in cluster, so I'm coming over here and put another one, okay? And that one is losing its shape, so I'm going to come over and add another one, okay? So you can see that there's like leaves going on in around, okay? Now, I will do as many as I can. You know, you see that this is a very big, well, not really big, but, you know, in order for us to get the, you know, color, okay, then we, or get the leaf shape in, then we need to do quite a bit of this positive and negative painting, okay? But, you know, okay, then I'm going to explain to you over here, okay? Now, over here, next to these leaf, you know, that you just kind of highlight and bring it out with the negative painting, there's nothing. And the nothing is fine, okay? These nothing are fine, because you don't want to put in so many details, right? And so, you know, you just wanted to do some detail here and there, okay? Don't worry about it too much. So I'm going to do a little bit more over here, and I'm going to use the gold, okay? The quinacridone gold. I am so sorry that I forgot to put in more, but I think this is actually sufficient, you know. Not that I'm trying to be cheap or anything, you know. So I'm using the gold, and I'm doing some positive, okay? Positive, see that? That is a leaf, and then I'm going to, you know, because I also get this, I wanted to see how the leaves spread, okay? So I go out and pick that. So one going this way, one this way, and then the other go that way, right? And so we are conscious of that, because leaf, they have their own characteristic, and we kind of wanted to keep it, you know, we really kind of wanted to keep it, and so that it will look more realistic to us, you know, or believable, okay, to our human eye, okay? So I just painted 3 leaves over there. Do you see that? And so over here, I'm not even going to worry, and I might just kind of, you know, drop a little bit of green color here, you know, just for fun, okay? Just for fun. Abstractly, okay? So that there's more things going on instead of you know, instead of a plain nothing. So if this area is plain nothing, you know I'm coming in to do things with it, but not, you know, making it very, very busy, okay? So I'm doing that now. Cadmium red medium, okay? Okay, so I positively just painted that, okay? It looks like that I am liking the cadmium red medium, cadmium yellow medium, you know, to do the leaf, okay? So the positive painting of the leaves, okay? And so I have 3 leaves over there, okay? So now we make this a little more interesting, that area, okay? And so we're gonna build the painting up just doing that, here and there, okay? So it'll be very fun. Now I'm doing negative now over here, okay? So I'm like outlining the leaf, okay? And when I got the shape that I like, I say, okay, I have time. I'm gonna push my luck and do one more over here, okay? And then I'm going to clean my brush and then come and soften it, okay? So back and forth, okay? Now I have, you know, for this painting to work, I also had to do the aspen with you, and then I am going to show you the background too, okay? So let's not get carried away, but you can see how fun this is if you you're not pushing for time. Let me worry about the time, right? And if you're not pushing for time, how fun it is. You can just take your time and do this, okay? See, as I'm going, I'm thinking about the negative shape, okay? I'm using the green actually as a background, okay? But not always, okay? Like right now, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do it as a positive leaf, okay? With some green over here. Positive leaf. But not all green, because we are now in the fall, right? This is a fall painting, and so we wanted, you know, the leaf to have just the faint shape. That means this leaf actually look like it's yellow with a little bit of green, if that makes sense to you, okay? So let's do a little bit more over there, okay? Just a couple more here and there, okay? And then we will go into the aspen, okay? You know, I find out that this is the only way that I can actually do this kind of painting with you is I start you or go through like, you know, 4 or 5 times doing this with you, and then you go in and finish it yourself, okay? And so by the time this, you know, I'm done with this video, I can't just keep doing this, right? Because if I do, then I won't be able to, you know, show you the rest of the painting. But if this work, then we can do lilac, and we can do hydrangea, okay, which is the same concept. But instead of doing the leaf, you're doing the petal, okay? So I'm not going to touch over here, because I'm going to, at this point, just leave this, and that you can see, right, how I'm going to work that, and then I'm going to do the aspen tree, okay? Because that is very, very important. Same brush, okay? So now what I do is, because it's going to be grayish, okay? So I'm going to look at the trunk, okay? Now, this is the trunk, okay? I have a little pencil line, okay? So I'm going to be careful and go around the yellow and put some trunk, put some paint spray on it, okay? Now I'm going to, now my paint spray is actually my trunk of the aspen, okay? Now don't worry about that, okay? It looks like I'm just putting a glob of gray over here, because I'm going to show you as I go how I'm going to make you believe me that this is actually an aspen trunk, okay? It's almost like magic when you're doing watercolor, because you work on it, and I'm softening the line, okay? I'm softening the line, but this tree trunk is going to be a little bit in the gray color, okay? I'm not going to reserve a lot of the white for the light, because the color of the trunk need to be a little bit more intense, okay? And you see that's how we're doing it, okay? So you can see the trunk behind it, and now there's nothing gray, okay? And so as we work on it, and you have to trust me, we're gonna work on it. Okay, here's the trunk, and remember, the only thing you have to remember is there's a straight line right there, okay? And so it's coming down, and it's still going to your eye. I'm just doing paint spray right now, okay? Because I'm doing the base of the trunk. So I'm just gonna pull the paint spray and let it go, okay? So you can see the trunk is kind of magically appearing, isn't it? And so we keep going, okay? Follow the tree trunk line that you have reserved for yourself earlier in the painting. Okay, and meanwhile allowing these yellow leaf to go into there, okay? You see that? Can you see that? Okay. Now the trunk is gonna keep coming down, okay? Now the further down we have decided, or I have, that we're not going to have any more leaf. It's just going to be the trunk, okay? Okay, so a light layer of gray, and more gray on this side, on the left hand side, okay, so that it will look like a round shape of a tree trunk, right? Okay, and so you can see that, right? You can see that how we're working it out, painting around the tree. Okay, usually I don't use what people use as miscus. They might like to reserve the space, and my style is I'll just be careful and just work around it, okay? That's how I do things. Now this become a little bit ambiguous, right? Because the light is so light, so I might go in with a heavier yellow, okay? Now, so let's leave the trunk, give it some time to rest and breathe, okay? And not breathe, actually. What I want it to do is dry, and then we work on this bigger trunk over here. And then you see how I do that, okay? I'm going to come in. And this might be a little bit of a longer video, I think. Okay, so there's a leaf over there, and I'm going to paint around that. Oh, sorry. You can see that I'm going to develop my trunk, okay? And as I develop my trunk, I'm going to make sure that I butt myself really, really close to this beautiful leaf that we worked so hard to paint earlier, okay? And that's why I always say, hey, you know, if you can use paintbrush that have point, okay? They have a nice point, because this is when the pointiness of the paintbrush is going to really help you, okay? It's really going to help you, because then you can go into the nuts and crannies of the leaves that are coming in, okay? And that's why I use that, okay? Now we're still just doing the background, the first layer. How's that? The first layer of the tree trunk, right? Because I wanted to, and you guys wanted to, if you're painting along, to make sure that the trunk, now you can bring the trunk further down here, it doesn't matter, because I have a line right here, okay? And that's what I put in the beginning, right? I have show you the line is for the mat, okay? The mats that if you're gonna frame your painting, okay? Now I'm going to do a little bit of intense color so you can see how the point of the brush actually helped me go around the yellow, okay? And all the way we're thinking medallion, okay? Now but that is really, really awful if we leave it that way, because it's so dark, right? And so we come in right away and then we soften it. But meanwhile, you can see the medallion shape of the, you know, and then soften it so we don't look like we have an outline there, and that wouldn't be very desirable unless you really like it that way, okay? And so, do you see that? So it almost looks like the leaf is casting a shadow onto the tree trunk, okay? And so the tree trunk needs to be a little more defined, okay? Darker on this side and lighter on that side, okay? Because we want it, still we all want it to always remember the form and the shape that we're trying to accomplish, okay? And so we're gonna do that and make sure that we do that, and then I'm just dropping in the pigment. You know that I'm gonna come in and smooth it out, okay? Okay, you see that? Okay, so I'm working on it, and so the first layer, okay? Let's keep going. Okay, so we follow this line, right? And then the leaves interrupted us, and then, but that's okay, we pick it up straight. We follow this line, and then the leaf interrupted us. We're not going to put a line there, and then we go over there, okay? It's like a lost and find. You lost the line, and then you find the line, okay? And don't worry, you know, this is just dropping pigment, okay? Now all the while going around that beautiful leaf that we painted earlier, okay? And now we use a clean brush, fresh water, and pull this out, okay? We need to quickly pull that out because we don't want to, you know, look like we're outlining. Okay, if it does look like we're outlining, then I am not going to let that happen, and I will drop color right here, okay? Drop some gray color so that we will not look like we're outlining, you know, an area, okay? And so what happened is we are now, I'm telling you by the painting that, okay, the tree is casting shadow onto the trunk. I mean, the leaves are casting shadow onto the trunk of the aspen trunk, okay? Okay, I'm going to try my best to finish the trunk with you, because it is the trunk is actually a little bit harder than the leaf, okay? And so what I just did is I'm bringing in a little bit of color of the background over into the leaves, the background of the tree, okay? The tree is the background, I guess, you know. All the while make sure that it is not too awkward, okay? And so we're gonna have to keep working on this, because I, for some reason, wanted to leave that trunk. Actually, there was no reason, it was just random. But I wanted to be able to let you see that, how we, you know, carefully go around, okay? Okay, because of this gray color, right? Because of the tree, then the trunk is appearing in your eye, okay, as I paint. I think you can agree that you can see it now, right? You can see the tree trunk is coming, you know, to life in front of you, okay? And so I'm going to keep going until I work it all the way up, okay? So you can follow me, but I think you have an idea of what I'm trying to do, right? And all the while trying my best to not destroy the beautiful leaf that we have painted, right? Now, if at this point I'm using a brush that is a little too big, and you're losing you are, you know, getting into the problem with the leaf and destroying it, or you know, it is disappearing in front of your eye, then my suggestion is go in with a smaller brush. Okay, you can go in with like this small brush, which it might take you longer, you know, because smaller brush, of course, they don't spread as much, you know, but it will give you a little bit better of a it'll give you a little bit better of a chance to not just kind of make a mistake and you know, and erase, you know, or put this gray color in front of a leaf that you work very hard to preserve, okay? Now all the while when we're doing this background, also think medallion shape, okay, round shape. Okay, you see that? The trunk is actually showing. And then you say, oh, this part is a little dark, then I need to put dark back into this area. So it's very consistent, okay? And then I pull the color out. Now, when I finally give you a drawing, all these will not be there, okay? So you will have to, you know, try to do it yourself. Try to make sure that you have, you know, you be a little bit of a steady hand, okay? And a steady mind that you're thinking about, you know, how you let the leaf go into the shape of the trunk, okay? So I'll call this, this point when we're doing this, it will be medium level, okay? And not really, you know, quite advanced, you know? Okay, now the tree is like, you know, so if you can back up and take a look a little bit, okay? You can see the tree trunk is appearing, right? Okay, and I'm going to come into this area all the while thinking medallion shape, okay? If you can. And you know, sometimes we do push ourselves, you know, and today we are doing a little bit of a harder. Now, if you say that I don't want to do the tree trunk, you know, peeking out behind the leaf, then you just cover the whole thing, okay? You just cover the whole thing with yellow, a big band of yellow without leaving the white. You can do that, okay? If it become like you feel like it's oh man, it's a little harder, and you know, so you can try, right? And I hope that at times you guys, when you're painting with me, you will you know, like, it might be frustrating and say, wow, that was really hard, okay? And then you go paint something else, and then you come back and paint another one until you feel like, hey, I've conquered the technique, okay? And all the while focusing and remembering that, you know, you want to, you know, enjoy the process of learning, okay? Don't be too hard on yourself, and just keep going, okay? Because as long as we don't give up, you know, eventually we'll get it, you know. Everything become easier if we don't give up. And so I don't want you guys to ever give up. You know, just go back, or actually in a painting, you know, and you don't like it. Sometimes a painting is rescuable, and sometimes it's not. If it is not rescuable, then you say, okay, I'm done. I'm so done, you know, and you throw it away. But you know what though? If you can rescue it, guess what you can do? you make another painting and try it again, okay? Because you have seen it in your eye that I show you, oh, okay, it can be done. You know, Kathy said that it can be done. But if you get frustrated, then we step away from it. You know, we don't, you know, keep stressing ourselves so much, okay? So I only had 2 big tree trunk over here. Okay, after I'm done with doing this, I will back up so you can see that. Okay, I only have 2 big tree trunk, and so that make it, you know, that was my design, because that make it a little bit easier for you. You know, doing one, well, okay, if you wanted to do one, you know, you can try. Okay, doing one is fine too, but doing 2 is not as challenging as doing, like, if you put 4 or 5 tree trunk over here. Okay, you can do that. Like, once you master the, you know, the skill and understand what you're doing, then you can give yourself more of a challenge and liberation and go and do more, right? Of course we will. And I think from now on I'm going to, you know, like, give suggestion, you know, because, you know, of the constraint of time, I always have to do littler things with you guys. But with you having time yourself, and you say, you know, I want to, you know, it's not that Kathy doesn't know how to design things, okay? It's just because Kathy needs to design something simple. And sometimes it's so simple that it doesn't even look like it is, you know, it is too good of a composition, because, you know, in order to do that, we will have to, you know, under my style of painting, we will have to put in a lot more time. Okay, now you can see, so let's back up a little bit. You can see the 2 tree trunk, right? It's coming out now. So the trunk is quite wet right now. And so guess what, Kathy, I am going to go in with the background. Okay, now let's start over here. Because we are so yellow, so what we're gonna do, I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to do this dioxazine blue purple, okay, with you guys, okay? And you might think, oh wow, Kathy, purple and yellow. Don't worry about it. I'm going to soften this, okay? Now I'm going to painting the background again, okay? So if there's leaf, then what do we think? Okay, we think medallion shape, right? Okay, so we let that leaf, you know, and then you come over here, okay? Now you're going around this trunk. Now I'm still using this purple color and look kind of strong, okay? But don't worry about it. It won't be strong after. Okay, we're gonna come all the way over here, okay? Like, okay, you know, let the tree, you know, so you can see that there's leaf, okay, coming down, but in irregular shape, okay? Now I'm gonna go clean the brush, and now I'm gonna pull this color out. Pull this color out, and I don't have enough water, okay? Because this is a what do you call that? This is a mimic fabric, right? So I'm gonna pull this out, okay? Pull this out. Don't worry, okay? And make that kind of fantasy that we always do in the background, okay? Now, so what am I painting? I'm painting the back of the forest. And then you say, Kathy, the back of the forest is very purple, you know. So this is when we go in and do some Pinks Gray. We go in and pick up some Pinks Gray, and then we put that on top, okay? Now, all the while, make sure that, you know, because it's a tree, so it would be nice if we pay special attention so that the trunk is strict, okay? Not strict like this way. It can bend, but make sure that it doesn't have little divot going in there. How's that? Wow, that is very, very challenging to to think of words while I'm teaching, but that's okay, you know. Okay, now I'm dropping some of that dioxazine purple, okay, around my leaves, okay. So that's why I like this brush, you know. I really think that it works really well, and I'm going to, you know, practice and investigate. The Chinese brush has one that called the Chinese horse. Okay, now I'm putting Pinks Gray and keep dropping it here, okay? But now when the water is dry, you see that this will be lighter. This will actually be a lighter color. But what I'm liking is the contrast between the purple and the yellow, you know, and you can tell this is one of my trick. and you will see that I do that a lot, okay, because it make the, you know, it make the painting just oh so lively, if I may say so. Okay. Okay, so now this place is quite wet, so we're just like, okay, you go ahead and dry. Okay. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, you know, since I'm actually I can do left and right hand, but I'm mainly right hand. Okay, I need to soften this green. I don't like there's a line going through. Okay, so I'm gonna go around here and do the background. Okay. Okay, that was 50 minutes, so and so this is going to be a longer painting, okay? Because this is like really fun, right? And so I just don't like to just kind of say, you know, I don't want to, you know, just say I'm not going to, you know, show you, because the background is a little bit of a challenge. It can be, okay? It can be a little bit of a challenge. And so I'm going to go through this with you guys, you know, so it will not become so much of a frustration for you guys. You know, I really hate making you guys frustrated. I really do. Now I'm going into the leaves area because I really need to have the background you know, there, right? Because the background will bring out the shape of the leaves, okay? And then I'm going to put in the gray. Okay, now I went and got some gray color because I don't want the purple should be so glaring. So the background is not really purple only, it's purple mixed with gray. And then you might ask, you say, Kathy, you know, sometimes this gray, this purple gray is going into the you know, it's like the line is kind of blurry. And so my answer to that is, if it is blurry, then that's great. You know why I would say that? Because okay, so you see, everything is appearing in your eye now, right? And you can see how the painting is going. You know, if the background down here is going into the blurry kinda into the yellow leaf, why do I say that it's okay? Because it is. You know, because our eyes don't always see everything in sharp line, okay? So you don't really have to make a sharp line, okay? If it blur into it, then it's fine. You know, I promise you the painting will be fine, okay? And so we're working this and pulling this out, you know, as we go, okay? Pulling this out and going around the yellow, okay? And then ever rotating between the dioxazine purple and the gray. Okay, that's why I'm doing that. I actually could use okay, I'm going to change to my happy dots. Okay, I actually, because you know, with a bigger brush, you know, the other one is smaller. With the bigger brush, I can go a little bit faster. Okay, and so do you see that? And so this is kind of dreamy, foresty, kind of getting into winter color, okay? That's what we're trying to accomplish here, okay? We're trying to go into winter color now. Okay, now I can actually use another bigger brush to make sure that this can go faster, but you know, since I am doing this, I'm just going to, you know, kind of finish it with the, because you know, at this point, if I go start a new brush, you guys can do that though if you want to get a bigger brush because it's a bigger area. But if I do that, then the problem is I have to take extra time to get the water right on the brush. Okay, now let's do this point, okay, because I just am not willing to you know, now I'm going outside the line, okay, the line that we draw earlier, if you remember, you know, for the matte purpose. Okay, okay, now you can see that even with this like little bit of a change in brush, I'm already being happier with how much faster I can go. Okay, okay, dropping some color in, dropping it in. drop some purple in. I like to use purple, indigo, gray. That's my go-to color for a background. Okay, so just you know, a reminder, or just let you know that that's what I always do. I'm just used to that, so I just kind of stick with it because what it is, like I can tell you, is my winner, right? Like I think that I can win with those colors, so I'm gonna let myself use those colors. Okay, this might look like a kind of mess, but when you put the mat on, you see you need to do that, because you need to make sure it go out. Okay, so a mess, I mean the edge. Okay, but when you put a frame on it, you will see the mess will just go away. Isn't a frame nice? Okay, so I'm going to let you see that. Okay, so there's like a beautiful, I think that area is quite beautiful with the background and the yellow and the leaf that I have worked on. Okay, now, so as I told you that you would want to go in and make sure that you filled in on the leaves, okay? Because by the time I do the intro, I actually will have all the leaf filled out, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is, this part might be a little bit harder. Like I say, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to, okay? I'm going to go in between the leaves and put some of the background color in between the leaf, okay? Now, this background is different than the tree because this background, to distinguish it different from the tree, I put purple in there, okay? Okay, so what you're doing is you're going around, okay? Now, you can start with purple or you can start with gray, but somehow I have decided to start with gray, and then I'll drop in the purple, so that you know that that is the dreamy forest that is behind it, okay? This is not the tree, so that's the difference in the color. The click click sound is me trying to dry the brush, right? And so that I leave the brush a lot, and that was like one of my, I'm going to do a product thing, and then while I'm doing product, I will also talk about techniques, right? And then I know that you guys, could be frustrated with me because I always say, whichever brush or paper or anything you use is up to you, and your practice, right? Because as you practice, you will develop, I promise, and get used to one way to work with all the equipment that you have. Okay, so that's kind of nice. I need to go in and fill in this area, okay, and those are all forest area. Okay, now before I do that, I'm going to do the aspen with you. Okay, go back to that harder brush. Okay, right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the gray color. Okay, now this might go in very, very I'm going to do the eye of the aspen. That's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, now this might look very, very intense. Okay, the eye meaning the aspen that the aspen tree always have this thing that look like an eye. I don't know how else to describe it. That's what we're doing. Okay, so that what will that do? That will further impress upon the people that are watching the eye that this is an aspen, because a lot of people have seen aspen. Actually, I came from Hong Kong. Okay, so it's kind of like almost like a dry brush. Okay, I came from Hong Kong, and now I think that is like a little bit too defined. Okay, so the line, and and so I go in and gently, bring some clean brush to bring it out so it's not so strong. Okay, I came from Hong Kong. That's when I came to America, aspen is totally a Western tree-ish kind of thing, and so I have never seen it until I came to America. You know that? Okay, so I'm doing horizontal line, and I do a little bit of vertical line too. Okay, and so that is suggest to your eye, and since you guys live in America for a long time, you know how aspen look like, right? And so here and there, even in this little area, I'm going to attempt to go in and put some of these lines over there, okay? So it's not just a soft branch of tree. We need to have those characteristic of the aspen so that we can say, oh, okay, that's a tree, it's not the background, okay? So I'm gonna, you know, just kind of do that here and there, okay? So that you can see that and it's more defined, you know, and then you can see that, oh, okay, she is, you know, these are aspen tree. Aspen is like, lovely tree, okay? You can see that, you know, just follow the way I do some horizontal line and give it a curve, okay? Give it a curve because it does have curves, right? And just go outside, go on a walk and look at the aspen and look at the characteristic, okay? And then come back and then you can do your thing. You know, which I did this morning. I actually went out and do that. Wow, it's about noon right now and it's so gloomy out there. You know, so I actually don't get the light. All the light is my studio light in here because you know, can't count on the light outside. Ooh, but Utah is like that, you know. You know, we got lots of snow. Okay, so that's my aspen tree. You see that? And I hope that you believe it is an aspen. Okay, but I'm going to quickly do the other side with you because I don't, you know, I really, you know, I feel for you, and I'm a teacher that I don't like to leave the student, you know, without, like, you know, I really wanted to help, you know, how's that? And so I don't, okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see how I do the eye better over here, okay? I'm going to do an eye over here. Keep calling it an eye. Okay, and then and then I do a little bit of crack coming down this way, okay? And so it's believable that it is an aspen, okay? Okay, do you like that? Did I convince you that this is an aspen? I hope I do. I'm very responsible. You know, I felt like I really want to help. And if something is not helpful, it's very hard for me to just say, okay, I'm just gonna leave them. They can figure it out themselves. I don't say that in my own mind to myself. I'm very, you know, because I think, you know, that's just bummer, you know, if I feel that way. So, and if I have to leave, I have to leave. And, you know, sometimes I do, but I just really want to be helpful. And do you see that? Now you can see that that's an aspen, right? And then I'm going to do a little bit over here. Ooh, there's something wet over there. And that's just the way you can count on me. And I'm very honest, you know, with you. If you are frustrated about, you know, I tell you about the material, you know, about the practice, you know, I am sincerely telling you that, you know, very honest, you know, that you need to do practice before you can, you know, lots and lots of practice before you can be happy with the challenge that watercolor, you know. But and I am very honest that as I know that as you practice, you know, you have fun. Okay, have fun with me. Okay, now I'm going to do the branch. Okay, the paint's gray. Okay, now I'm still quite so I'm gonna, you know, all this white thing here, okay, all this white line here, we can go in and fill it in, but we can also use it as the branch. And so I'm gonna have one branch coming from the aspen, okay? Okay, so the line is quite intense, okay? And it's gonna kind of go up like this, okay? So it go into the white area, okay? Now I actually have a picture of how the aspen branches look like. So I'm going to, you know, and you know, for those I can't show you the picture because because you know of oh, I have so many things to tell you about some other painting that I'm going to do, but I will tell you when the time get there. Okay, now I can't show you what picture I'm looking at. You need to go find it yourself. Why is that? Because of you know, copyright, right? Problem, because I can't contact these people. Okay, so what I'm doing is peekaboo, right? You see the branch and you don't. Why don't you see it? Because the leaves are there. Okay, that's why you don't see it. Okay, so we're gonna work a little bit. I'm gonna make another one coming out from this side. Okay, from this eye. How's that? Okay, and then I'm going to go like more like a horizontal. Okay, why do we peekaboo? Because sometimes the line is there. Sometimes the not the line. Sorry, the leaves are there. Okay, you understand? I'm thinking and painting at the same time, and so you understand that I can't. Sometimes I don't. I'm. You feel like I don't know the English. Feel like I might not know how to speak English. But okay, and so you want the line, some to go this way, some to go that way. Okay, you cross like this. Okay, and so that make it more believable. And I'm not going to do anything over there because I still need to do something else and show you guys. Okay, and so let's have a branch coming from here. Okay, actually the branch come out of the eye too. Okay, so we need to do that. Okay, so there's a branch coming this way. Okay, and it will cross over this way. How's that? Wow, you imagine how fun it is. Okay, can you promise me you will allow yourself to have fun when you are doing things like that? Because you as the artist are making decision. You're creating things that are in nature, that are from you. Okay, now you see how the branches, now it's more and more like an aspen grove, right? And so it's so fun. I could just stay here all day and do this with you guys, but I know I can't. And so another one coming from here. Okay, now make sure when you do the branch, do some V shape. Okay, do some V shape. Okay, and so I need to do a branch all the way and leave the line that I drew earlier. Okay, now I need this to be very intense, kind of pinks gray color. Okay, oh, I didn't even tell you. Okay, so it is pinks gray. Okay, so be sure you okay, so the branch can be coming from behind this cluster. Okay, I'm telling you, I am saying that it happens. And if you, as the artist, say that it happens, right? So fun, so fun. If I ever meet you guys, we will just paint and have fun. And then we'll have a snack. Which actually, I have to watch my weight because I told you guys, I think, that my family have diabetes. I'm just having fun, that we're gonna have snack and then we'll come back and paint some more, and then we'll have herb tea, and then we'll come back and paint some more. Okay, now when you see my final painting, I might have a little bit more branches over there, but I like I always do things, I don't like a lot of like I wouldn't call it a mess, a lot of detail. Okay, so I might not. Okay, so I'm like saying that, oh, something is coming up from here, and then it cross over here. Oh, so fun. Okay, I'm gonna have a big one coming from here. Okay, the side of the tree. Okay, because these lines are kind of thin, and so we don't we need to remember branches are thicker closer to the tree, right? And then they go thinner, and so don't just do thin branches, right? You have to have a couple of believable thick branches there. Okay, so I'm gonna do a believable thicker branch over here. Okay, coming from the eye. Okay, now doesn't that look fun? And then I'll do one over here, and then I will do one more thing with you before I leave. Okay, because I really wanted you guys to see that and do it, or you don't have to do it, but okay, this come from an eye, so I'm gonna have to do an eye while I'm over there, right? Okay, let's make it even thicker. Isn't that nice? Okay, so there are thick branches and small branches. Thick branches, and then those are small branches. Okay, on closer to the top. Okay, now, so that one other thing that I'm gonna do, like this background area over there. Okay, let's just do an imaginary tree. Okay, you can even use your pencil. Okay, you can use a pencil and then just draw a very thin tree trunk over here. Okay, and that's part of the forest, right? You can hardly see it, but how do you do that? You pick up with some paint spray, and then you just look like you are adding that tree. It's like magic. It's like you're creating the forest, right? Wow, isn't that magic? Okay, I'm quickly getting water to disperse this line because I want that to disperse, okay? Okay, and blend into the background. And if it doesn't want to, I'm going to add some purple here and force it to blend in. You know, because sometimes I talk about sedimentary color, right? Sedimentary color, you know, sometimes when it's very dry, the paper, it goes in and they say, I'm done, I'm here to stay. And so I'm forcing it. But do you see that tree? Do you see that tree that we just created? And then this side of the tree, of that same tree, okay? The left side and the right side. Okay, do you see what I just did? I used negative painting and I created a trunk there. Do you see a trunk? This one. And that is the fantasy of the forest, okay? And you see a branch, right? Should we do another one so you can see? Let's do one on this side, okay? So I usually don't need to use my pencil, but I wanted to make sure you see it. You see the trunk that I just drawing, right? Now you need to do that yourself because I'm not going to have that trunk in my... All I'm going to is just have some leaf cluster for you guys, okay? On the little drawing that I gave you all the time in my blog post sunsetpeony.com. Just look for aspen grove, okay? Now do you see that? You see that tree just show up? One side of it anyway. Okay, so you go in and you now I promise you that you need to try this, okay? And if you try this fall season or this winter, when spring or early spring, late spring or summer come, now we can go outside the line. When late spring or summer come, we're gonna paint hydrangea and lilac, okay? And today the work that you put into painting this, you know, will help you with the next one, and it won't be so, you know, hard anymore. Okay, so we build on our skill line upon line, precept upon precept, right? Okay, so you see that I'm just painting a negative background right here, and another tree trunk show up. And so if you want to, you can put another trunk right here, or put a trunk right here, and then you have a forest there, which I will, but not at this point, okay? Because I have to stop. I really do, you know. Okay, now you can see that I'm going to back up this painting, okay? So that's all the points that I'm going to show you. We painted an aspen grove, okay? Now, this might look kind of messy, okay? Now, so remember, we need to go in and do more, okay? A little bit more over here of the leaves, a little bit more over there, and I'm going to put a couple more tree in that are pushed back into these two, okay? And then I will show it to you in the intro. But let's put the mat on top. Now imagine that this will be your painting when you're done. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? Okay. Alright, I'm going to say goodbye, and when you see the final painting on the intro, it will be a little bit more colorful and such, okay? And so this will be a longer painting. But anyway, I really appreciate you guys coming. Thank you for being my friend. I hope you can keep painting along and just have fun and enjoy the process with me, okay? And I will see you in the next painting. Goodbye.